Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner. I got an exciting new knife here. It wasn't something I picked up at Blade Show, like what I've been showing lately, Blade Show West, but it was directly related to the whole thing. And I'll tell some of the story. I don't want to go too much into details, but when I went to the show, I was constantly on the website checking, not only looking at the countdown to see how many days are left, but also checking to see like all the people that are going to be presenting, the vendors that are going to be at the show. And I've been looking through it, and then I see a video, and I think the first one I saw was from Lefty EDC, and he did a really thorough one. So definitely got more thorough than the one I'm going to do right now, but so if you want to see some more details, because he actually took the knife apart, I'm not like ready to do that quite yet. It's just brand new in the collection. And he had a whole story because he did work, because the N in N.U.M. Stands for Nick. And Nick is the brains behind the design of this knife. Maybe the N1 means Nick 1. I don't know. But it's the N1 Cornerstone, and there's a lot of buzz going on about it. You may not have heard of it. It's hasn't been around that long. It seemed like it was only maybe a few weeks ago when I first heard about it. Maybe a couple of weeks before the show, but then I looked and I saw that they were going to be there. Now I had already heard that they were not going to have the knives on sale until the end of October, and they are still not. At least the last time I looked, like maybe yesterday or earlier today, they're still not up on where I believe they're going to be sold. Is on the N.U.M Knifeworks website and on Blade HQ, and both of them show coming soon. And I truly believe that's really, really soon, because this one came in a smaller batch from Riot, who is the OEM for this knife. So there was not a large drop. The first package that came in was just a few of them, but the other one was supposed to follow like in the next week or so. So not very long. What happened was we were at the show, and he had. First of all, we got a card here, and it's kind of gives you all the details. He had knives there to look at, but he didn't have any to sell. And so this is the N1 The Cornerstone, I guess is the official name. Let's see what the stats are, somewhere where I can actually read it. Let me get my flashlight so I can actually see everything. I think it's 3.1 inch blade. It is a little smaller than it says 2.8 on the cutting edge. 3.2. Boy, I can hardly even read this, even with the flashlight. My eyes are so bad. 3.26. Yeah, well, we can measure it. You know how we do our rough measure thing. We'll do the best we can here, but we'll get it out because I know you guys want to see it. But anyway, like I say, you can go on Lefty's channel and you can see a little more. It's got this very cool foam cutout type case with N.U.M Knifeworks. Comes with these very cool stickers. The Cornerstone with the crab, and the crab is because of the lock. It's called the pinch lock. You can see right here, it says pinch lock. Powered by. A lot of great artwork on this stuff. N.U.M Knifeworks. And N.U.M stands for Nick's, if I get it right, Nick's Unhinged Mechanical Brain. Hopefully I got that right. And then here's the crab, looking in closer. N.U.M Knifeworks, established 2025. So they are a brand new company. So this is their very, very first knife. And they actually, I think they had another prototype on the table, but that one's not even, going into production quite yet. But this one will be coming out very soon. So look for Blade HQ or at the website, N.U.M B Knifeworks. And this is a funny one with the crab on top. And on the bottom, and my girlfriend, you know, she's awesome. She keeps saying official numbskull. So she knows that I'm an official numbskull. Of course, she knew that a long time ago. And most of you guys that have been watching the channel for a while knew that as well. So this one is the titanium. They also have a blacked out one with black DLC blade. That looks pretty cool as well. I like this one with the blue. Blue on the clip, blue on the pivot, blue on the hardware. It's S90V steel, which is a great steel. I mean, I hear people ragging on most steels at some point or another, you know, for one reason or another. But I don't hear a lot of people saying bad stuff about S90V. S45 is another one that seems to be pretty popular, but S90 seems to be, even MagnaCut, even the great MagnaCut gets, especially if it doesn't have the right heat treat. But S90 is a great steel. So this one's S90, titanium if I didn't say it. And you can see it looks like a button lock, but it's got 2 buttons. And it's a brand new design. It is patent pending, I believe. He's got it going in to get the patent for it so that he protects himself from other people copying. But, you know, there's been a lot of new locks coming out. You know, the shark lock, the top liner lock was actually something that was Spyderco's patent, and that ran out, as well as the axis lock, you know, a few years ago was Benchmade's, and that went away. I know that, you know, there's a lot of different types of patents. And you can license to use, so another company could license to use this lock, but they would have to, you know, pay something, you know, give something to Nick and have approval and all that kind of stuff. So I am telling you, and other people have said it too, so it's not just me. This lock is so fidgety, and it works so well. You would think that, because of the fact that if I push one button in and it won't close, you would think that it would be something that would fail a lot, and then you'd have to get it just right in order to get it to close. But you can see I'm just kind of back and forth on this thing, and it is just so easy to actuate. It doesn't take much at all. You don't have to pull anything. You're just pinching. So I'm pushing on both sides. You got the button here, button here. You can see how it stands out from the scales when it's open. And you're pinching together and it goes closed. And then it's flush while it's closed. So it's not sticking out. And then when it opens, these things stick out. So there's these, it's like on a pivot sort of thing. You can see Lefty's video to really see what it is. But what happens is once the knife gets to a certain point, it, just like any lock, and it's in 2 phases too. Listen. It clicks twice. So one of them clicks and then the other clicks. So it's a really strong lock because it's being held on both sides. It's not just like a liner or something like that. It's being held on both sides of the blade, or locking it in place. And then you just push in, and then it gives the clearance for the blade just to drop. And it's, of course, on bearings because it's just very... And if you have it here, it won't open because it has detent. Each side has detent, so there's 2 detent balls. But as soon as you push in, just like you would on a liner lock, like when you push the liner lock out of the way or the frame lock out of the way, then it relieves the pressure and it's no longer held in place, and it'll just drop and swing. So you can do the whole open it with the lock thing if you wish, kind of like a button lock or an axis lock. But it also has a great detent, kind of like a top liner lock or you know, a button actuated liner lock. Same kind of thing where you get the best of both worlds. You're not sticking your hand in the way, which I don't mind. I've gotten so used to it. You're not putting your finger in the way. They're on either side. You're leaving that path for the knife to drop completely open. You don't have to worry about, how do you drop the knife on your thumb? Is this point going to, go into my skin or something like that? Because you're pinching here and give it a little tilt or whatever, and it goes. So really good hole for deployment. No back flipper. Front flipper is there. And I can get the thumb. I can do the index easier. I can do it pretty easy when it's not under the camera. I think I kind of can do the over the top. Yep, see, good thing I had that mat there. I'm still not good at that, but really the thumb. But most of the time I'm just going back and forth with the buttons on either side and the middle finger. Also, I can get it with the thumb, so it works out pretty well with the thumb because I do have struggle with that with a hole. So there you go, guys. It's got really good texture. I'm trying to make sure I get everything here. This micro milling is very, very nice. It's chamfered around the edges. It feels really good. The pocket clip is nice and long and out of the pocket very easily, but it is pretty stiff, so it does give good retention. But because it's long and it has a good ramp, it goes in and out really nice. The buttons have its own texture on it, but you're not pulling it anyway, so it doesn't really require jimping or grip type stuff. And you kind of, when you pinch, you kind of have the edge around the hole to kind of have a good grip on the knife, so it's not going to fall out of your hand. It's just well designed, just very well designed. Oops. Yeah, it's life in the city, guys. You got neighbors trying to do a video, trying to get excited about a knife. Anyway, this is the way it is. So let's measure it. Let's get out the measuring stick. But like I say, and we'll talk about the ergos. I mentioned a little bit that it's comfortable in the hand, but you can see if I'm back here, finger in the finger groove on the handle, I still have my pinky kind of on on this ramp thing here. You can see. I think I might have had it out of frame a minute ago. But the forward finger choil is quite a good finger choil. So it works really well for that. And it is a good sharpening choil too, because you're like way back here before your plunge goes down to the bevel. As far as stop pins are concerned, there's definitely no stop pin. You can see the whole finger choil right there. So it's not getting near the corner of the blade. I can't remember how is that the stop pin? I'm not sure how I don't really see it in there. It must be an internal stop pin. It's definitely hitting something, but I'm not seeing it, so I'm thinking it must be an internal. Yeah, so nothing to worry about there. We'll measure. So yeah, so it is like a little over 2 5/8 on the edge, which is fine, and it's like 3 inches. Okay, so it's like 3 inches on the blade length. So for me, that's like an EDC size. This from if you call the inside grip, the inner grip would be like 3 inches, 3.5, including that piece right here. But then if you take the finger choil on the blade, then you got a good 4.5 total, maybe 4 inches to this piece here. So certainly choked up like I like to hold a knife. It's got plenty. Now jimping is back here. I think that jimping is mainly for the front flipper, because if you're front flipping, that's where your finger's going to land. So they don't really have the jimping up here. There is a little tiny bit of a poon right there, but exciting jimping up front for a pinch grip. So you got some traction there if you're going to do your utility cuts, and it has got that. I'm sure a lot of people would call that a modified sheep foot, and it basically is. It's got a little belly, tips down low. It's got almost more of a clip on the front. Somebody could call it a reverse Tonto if they wanted to, but it does have belly. Nice hollow. Nice hollow. I guess we should get some paper and cut it. Just to do run all the bases. Since we are in the World Series is coming up. So we are going to use some baseball references. It just cuts like a dream. S90V, you know, it takes a great edge. And, oops. But yeah, it's cutting great, obviously. Then that's the factory edge. I've only had it since yesterday. It was due to come today, but it came a little early. So Nick had trouble getting his. He was at the show, and I think that his intent was to sell some at the show from that small batch. And the first day talking to him, he said, "Hey, they're coming in. I got the tracking. It says it's going to show up today," and it was Saturday. And he thought he would have it that day because they were supposed to come into Blade HQ, which is in Utah, right near the show. And that I guess his wife or maybe he would go pick him up while somebody else watches the booth. His wife was there. She clearly helps out a lot in my interactions back and forth with him. Because he took my phone number and he was going to, he said, okay, I'm going to take a few people's phone numbers, people that want the knife right now, and we'll just put it in order of how, when the phone number came in, is who gets the knife first, you know, because he knew there wasn't going to be a large quantity. So, you know, Sunday came, I went over and asked him. I didn't want to bug him because I keep my expectations low. You know, it's better that way. You know, don't get too excited. And he said, "Oh no, it's not going to be here." So he said, "Well, he thinks it'll be in this coming week." So it was it was last week that it was going to come in. And he said he's going to do QC. Now it's Riyadh. Riyadh does great work, so I expect that he didn't find anything wrong. I see nothing wrong with this knife. It is so nice. It's so well balanced. It's lightweight. You know, not bug out weight, but certainly lightweight. Probably like between 3 and 4 ounces, I guess. But you know, don't hold me to it because I wonder if it says on the card. I won't be able to read it anyway. Anyway, so he said, so it's not going to come in, but I do have your number, and so he gave me a call during the week. He's just a great guy. I mean, he's going out of his way. He felt like he had kind of promised us that we were going to be able to buy it at the show. So he said, "Hey, I'm going to follow up with this. As soon as I get them and QC them, I'll give you a call and I'll sell them to you." So he called me. I PayPal'd him the money. He put it in the mail and gave me the tracking number, and we're off to the races. It was due to come today, but it came yesterday. So I carried it today, enjoyed it quite a bit, and you know, it's a new thing. It's a new locking mechanism. So you really gotta see over time how well it works, and it just is so. It's got a nice little acoustic to it too, and it's really interesting with that click click. If you do it slowly, you hear it. I mean, if you're doing it fast, you don't hear a click click. It's just that real slow coming out, and that detent feels really, really good, and it is definitely holding closed in your pocket, no problem. Just a great knife. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And Nick is a great guy. I think he's got me as a customer for life because he was just so, you know, careful about it and wanting to make sure he did right, you know, by those people who came and wanted to buy it and couldn't, and he followed through. Just a top-notch guy. So yeah, they are a little expensive, about $350. You got to decide. A lot of people are going to say are going to put the comment that it's overpriced. It's really how you value things. So yes, it's overpriced for some people, but for some people, especially now, it's just the way things are nowadays, guys. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing prices going up. I'm seeing the stuff that maybe used to be like 300 or coming in at 350, stuff like that. So I'm not unhappy about it, and I am just super excited about this new locking system, and I can't wait to see what he does with it in the future and where it goes from here. Should be amazing, and I was so excited to share it with you guys. And just be ready. I don't know the date. He didn't tell me. I didn't ask, but I keep seeing. So just keep watching the websites. Probably people will be coming out with videos and saying, "Hey, it's going to drop whenever." You can get on Instagram. He's got Instagram. He's got all those things. So get on there, and you'll find out when it's going to come out. I don't know how fast they're going to sell out, but something like this, it's quite possible. We were talking about it on a couple of the lives, and people were saying, yeah, they're definitely planning on getting it. And he's been popping into lives, and everybody is going, "Hey, I love your knife," getting all excited about it. So it sounds like there's a lot of buzz. So hey, if you want to be a numbskull like me, Ken Faulkner, check out the N1 Cornerstone. All right, that's it, guys. That's enough talking. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.